Hi, folks. Welcome to Watch It or Don't. Tom, Matt, Dan. Today we're going to be talking about Jurassic World, and I do want to give you a heads up. There are going to be some very mild spoilers, nothing too crazy, but if you're going to freak out about that,
I think
maybe
most
hold
people
off.
have seen it already.
Yeah,
Well,
It's a lot. It got some big box office totals.
did pretty
if
well.
you don't want
yeah.
anything spoiled for you, though, don't watch this.
But it shouldn't be too crazy. So Jurassic World is the second sequel this summer for a long dead trilogy. After, of course, Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Classic.
And it's exactly what you'd expect it to be. Dinosaurs in the park. Dinosaurs go crazy, and
People
a
get
lot
hurt.
of bad stuff happens. So, pretty basic plot line there.
And they
Yeah.
spared no expense.
Spare no expense.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So this one's directed by Colin Trevorrow,
hmm
produced by Steven Spielberg, but it seems like he kind of took a back seat on this one.
I think he might have just came to the set one day, to tell you the truth.
I don't know. Colin Trevorrow, he's a kind of an indie director. He hasn't done anything on this scale before.
Mm-mm.
It kind of shows, maybe a
Little
little bit. There's some. This is not a perfect movie.
No.
And
No, it is not.
We'll get into this a little bit. I think I enjoyed it for what it was, going in with very low expectations.
Okay.
Well,
I had low expectations
Yeah.
as well.
I
I
think-
still, I had quite a few gripes with it.
I think
So,
we'd be safe if we just gave our ratings quick. Is that cool with
Yeah,
you?
that's
Or do
fine.
you want to give a little more background?
no, that's fine. We can go.
We'll jump in.
Okay,
Go
well,
ahead.
I want to give my rating.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I'm giving it a 2 stars out of 5 stars because I
Okay.
honestly didn't really like it that much. I mean, I know I had low expectations, but there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I want cool dinosaurs, but I want a little bit more, and I didn't get it. I'm kind of mad about it.
Okay.
I'll get into why I'm mad about it in a little bit because I'm sure
Okay.
we'll get more. I'll let you have your say though.
All right. Well, see, I'm kind of torn on this movie. On the one hand, it's riddled with cliches. The characters aren't very good.
Yeah.
The casting's not great. I
Well,
didn't
Chris
love,
Pratt is good.
Chris Pratt is underused. They could have cast any blonde, hot action
macho
star. You know, it wouldn't have mattered. They didn't use Chris Pratt to be Chris Pratt
Right.
at all, which bothered me a lot. You know, there's a lot of things. They kind of throw these different plots at you that just like they don't really stick. They throw in this whole divorce thing that comes out of nowhere, and then you're like, well, you don't really care about it in the end.
Mm-mm.
Right.
But on the other hand, and critics have ripped this movie a lot for that, and I understand that. But on the other hand, I did enjoy it in a weird way. Like
Nope.
when they first open the park and you see the dinosaurs, it's kind of like, wow, this is kind of happening. I went in very cynical, and halfway through I was like, okay, I'm into this. I don't know why, but I am. Maybe it was the music playing. I'm not sure, but it brought a good tension. I was tense for a lot of the movie. I saw it in IMAX 3D, which I usually am not a huge 3D fan, but this one made the dinosaurs seem very real. When you first meet this big new monster dinosaur, I was pretty scared.
I'm sure that would be cool.
Which is-
Tom and I did not see it in
Okay,
IMAX.
but you know, it was something I haven't felt in a movie in a long time. Where
Okay.
you were legitimately like, whoa, this is kind of scary a little bit. So there's so many problems with this movie, but at the same time, I kind of enjoyed it for what it was.
So, sorry, what was the rating?
Oh, so I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5,
So
okay.
it's something I would see again, but it's not my favorite thing of the summer.
Well, I'm kind of in the middle ground here. I'm giving this movie a good. It's pretty much
A good out of what?
good out of good. I don't
Okay.
know. Just generally, it's pretty good. Dan kind of hit a lot of what I was thinking too. Just bad characters, bad writing. He touched on one of the things that I think is a positive is hearing Giacchino's score for it, which brings back some of the classic Williams Jurassic Park score, and then adds. I mean, Michael Giacchino always does a fantastic job, and so for me that was a big thing, and I definitely didn't feel the tension like you did. It was all kind of comical to me, and didn't give a damn about the two boys and their family issues.
Not
and
at all.
anything like that. But once you get dinosaurs doing, wreaking havoc on a park, like there is something just fun about that. And so I didn't like actively enjoy the movie, but I was sitting there and like I didn't feel bad about being there.
No, I will say I like the first half better than the second half. I felt the build up to I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but they built this new genetically modified dinosaur, which is like this new T-Rex.
Because apparently people are bored with dinosaurs,
and
which is something that drives me crazy. Because it's supposedly in this same time period, and I would like to think that if a brand new dinosaur park just opened, that people would be instantly
10
bored.
years though into the park.
Into the park?
Yeah, they
Okay.
mentioned that. So
Still a little
I did
weird.
actually, I did kind of like that. You know, they have a shot where like this big dinosaur comes up and everyone's just kind of tweeting about it on their phones. Like that would be realistic to real life.
It's obnoxious to watch.
Oh,
though.
it is. But anyway, the first half of this movie, it builds up to this dinosaur. You kind of get glimpses, but you don't actually see it. It's almost like Jaws. When you get that. This monster thing, and the tension there is great. The first time, this is not really a spoiler. It escapes, obviously.
What? Go figure.
Things go bad. The first time it escapes and starts wrecking havoc. That's kind of cool. I was really into that.
Yeah.
And then the second half is how they kind of deal with taking down this dinosaur.
Yeah.
And they kind of just throw everything at it. So like everything that could happen with different characters with different dinosaurs, they kind of just throw at it. And it was just kind of like, all right, let's just wrap this up. We know how this is going to end. Let's just kind of keep it moving. But I did like the first half.
Yeah. Well, and you kind of said in the second half they deal with it however they do, and a big thing for that is Chris Pratt has a very good relationship with the Velociraptors, and he's kind of the Velociraptor whisperer and stuff, and
which they could be a little goofy, sometimes.
So in the last half of the movie, you're not quite sure how these guys are gonna fit into it, and then they become the heroes all of a sudden, and it's just so cheeseball, like the most absurd thing, I understand you've built this relationship, with these creatures, but at the same time, I don't know if they're really going to do all that stuff for you.
That whole plot was basically How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Yeah, but worse.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 2 is much better than this
well,
one.
I'm going to go on my tangent here a little bit of things that annoy me, because I have a little bit of a laundry list of that.
Yeah.
So, that being said, before I do that, I love the music, and that did add a little bit of tension. But I agree most of it was comical. But what tension there was and what great feelings I had in the movie, it had to do with the music being like built up and stuff like that. I love that. But to get on to why I did not like this more specifically, the whole beginning of the movies is setting up so that we care about these two kids that you've seen in the trailer. And we get this weird...
to the first Jurassic Park, you have the two.
Yeah, but we get this weird shoehorned families in a divorce, and the mom's crying for no weird reason. I don't really...
The family in divorce is from Jurassic Park 3, too. They copied that same plotline.
Well, it was unnecessary, and that never gets resolved. Yeah. Sorry for the spoiler alert on that, but that's something that doesn't happen. And then we have to watch the annoying oldest son kind of not really care and text the whole time. It's still
stare at chicks, even though he's got the girlfriend.
Yeah, he's got a girlfriend that's obnoxious to watch that scene, and he's checking out girls, and then, his brother kind of,
Right, and then they make such a big deal of him finally being a good brother and taking care of his younger brother, and, we never really saw...
him being a bad brother.
It was just, hey, he goes on this story about when they were kids and when he protected him from a ghost, and
they're way old enough where that
Why
story
the hell
is
did you throw that story in there?
Yeah, it was so dumb.
What does that do for us?
It doesn't do anything. But the mom at one point on the phone is crying like, oh, make sure they're not alone together because the oldest brother can be so mean. Yeah. We didn't see any of that. Yeah. They seemed like they were okay friends. If anything, the brother just ignored his little brother. And then that climaxes when they get into that sphere ride, or what did they call it?
Like the gyroscope.
Gyroscope.
Yeah. You'll see it in the trailer.
You see it in the trailer. It's the cool little ball. And as you've heard, the monster escapes, and those kids happen to be on that ride. And they hit the emergency button. And those kids just keep going on the ride. It's probably $1 million ride with no safety feature. They literally just nah, we won't go back in once they hit the panic button.
Yeah.
What was that? That's a huge thing that you would need in that park.
On the flip side, though, I think the gyroscope, whatever, was one of the really cool parts.
It's a cool concept, but it's stupid.
Because if you were to actually see a dinosaur theme park, that's the type of ride I want to be on.
Yeah, but you'd pray to God that they'd have a button that would bring the pod back.
You'd think it would be on a track or something.
This movie is unique in the Jurassic Park world, where it actually shows what the park could become. So Jurassic Park, you have this idea of this cool park, what it could become, but then everything kind of goes to hell. This one, it actually shows all the attractions, and they're pretty cool. Some of the stuff they have is that would be something I would want to go to if
absolutely.
they had it. So that was kind of cool. I like that part of it.
Well, since you said touching on the old park, after that, when they're in their pod, I'm not going to try to spoil too much here, but they end up finding one of the old Jeeps from the original movie, and it's ruined.
I looked up; it's the same Jeep number as the one they drove
in the movie. That's kind of cool and nerdy. Yeah. But it's wrecked. The Jeep's wrecked, and we just get a little line of dialogue. It's like, remember when we fixed that car that summer? And then it cuts, and then the car works. I'm like, no, you can't do that!
Well, and that was my biggest problem, is the writing in this movie. Is just
terrible.
It's disgustingly bad.
And then go to the adults, and we've got...
Bryce Dallas Howard is not a character. It's just all these really, really bad stereotypes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to it. And I generally like her. I generally like her as an actress, but she just did not have a character. And Dan was saying with Chris Pratt, he wasn't used to his potential. No. But I mean, for me, Chris Pratt was one of the great things just because he's Chris Pratt. He's better in space.
He makes the most of what he has, but it's not.
Well, just getting off of watching Daredevil, is it D'Onofrio, right?
D'Onofrio. Vincent D'Onofrio.
He's got a part in that's a whole weird storyline that he works for the military and wants to militarize these animals, or private contractors. But he ends up taking over. It's like, who are you?
Yeah,
why do you have this much power? That does not get explained whatsoever.
Right. And again, D'Onofrio is someone that I love.
He's a great actor.
Always does a good job. But they're just not utilizing these big stars that they have.
And I think that's the most of what I was mad at. But that's all comes down to the writing, and that's all non-dinosaur stuff.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I agree with everything you said, and I should hate this movie, but I kind of liked it. I was in the theater. I was tense. I was having a good time. I had a good crowd with me, so we were cheering at different moments. I don't know if you liked if you liked the first movie, you'll enjoy.
Well, I would imagine
if you liked the first one and tolerated any of the sequels, you'll be able to tolerate this sequel.
Than Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. I will say that.
Of course.
I think we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay. But, a little mixed review on Jurassic World.
I'd say definitely worth seeing if you have any interest in Jurassic.
I would wait till Netflix, to be honest with you. I would wait till Netflix. Do that.
I will say it was very successful in two regards. It made me want to watch the other Jurassic Park movies, and it really made me want to play the Lego Jurassic World video game.
I've not played that.
Because that looks so fun.
Anyway, we got to go. Watch it or don't. Be sure to subscribe.
Thanks for watching.